What up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Mo.J. We are locked in. Now, this is episode 6 of Cruel Summer, An Ocean Inside of Me. People, cut me some slack, please. It's almost the end of the semester. I have 3 or 4 papers I gotta write to finish up my master's. So I didn't get to watch this episode till this morning, and I'm about to do it for you now. So I probably won't release it till maybe 3 Pacific time. I don't know, we'll see. But before we get into all that, shout out to the notification gang. If you're new to the channel, you want to be a part of this, hit the subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. Hit that like button. It's the easiest thing you can do. Now, we got the episode. We're getting a little data from here, a little information from here, and we're piecing everything together, and we're getting closer to figure out what really happened. But I know y'all don't want to hear from me that much more. Y'all want to jump into this episode, so here's episode 6 of Cruel Summer. The events that are about to unfold take place on approximately August 15th, 1993, 1994, 1995. They get August 22nd. That's my birthday, people. But this is August 15th, and 93 was a good year, trust me. What I tell you, 1993 was a good year. It's the parents' anniversary. Sydney looking good. George down there feeling great. Derek and Jeanette, they done made the parents breakfast and they kind of got a little bad. How you think mom and dad gonna come down here? I think messy hair. Oh, after a lot of wild, you know what? 93. 94, we just don't have that same feel. Now, Jeanette's trying to convince her brother, hey, please don't go off to school. Don't move into the dorms today. At least wait another day, because this is after Kate was released, so she needs someone there that she can talk to because everybody's starting to turn on her. Now, it's the same day as her parents' anniversary, but it isn't so happy. Her dad comes in, grabs some food, and is like, I got to get up out of here. Pops picks up some coffee, and Jeanette's like, how can you drink coffee? It's not that great. And he's like, it'll grow on you. Now, here comes Sydney. She comes in with a basket. It's got, looks like some wine. Ooh, got some chocolate, we got some cheese. Okay, we got us a little, you know what I'm saying? So Sydney's thinking, oh, thank you, happy anniversary, honey. But when they read it, it's a letter from Angela. Now, if you remember, Angela is the girlfriend in 95 of George. But he showed her a house. Remember, they met at the movie store? He got her a house. So she sent him a basket saying, thank you. Uh-oh, trouble in paradise, people. Let's go to 95 and see what's going on with short hair, dark hair Jeanette. Now she's in the house and she's just watching old tapes. You know, the cassettes, the VCRs, they got all that. She's watching, just reminiscing. And Angela's here because she's the girlfriend now. And Jeanette's like, oh, I'm not in here. I'm not reminiscing about anything. I'm not missing my family or anything. And Angela's like, look, we can talk about this because I understand it's going to be tough. You know, your mom's gone now. She's not here. But let's talk about it. And Jeanette's just saying overall, she just wishes none of this happened because this day used to be a holiday. We seen in 93, we had the family breakfast for the celebration of the anniversary. We even had a little get together in 94. Even though the flowers came, it was probably the end, you know. But she's just saying, I wish none of this ever happened, and she still had her whole family together. And of course, nothing ever goes as planned in Cruel Summer. Hello? It's the lawyer. We have a problem. Dang, man, it's about 8 o'clock in the morning. Can this problem wait till noon? The crew. We know we have that summer list that we got to complete. Hey, y'all, let's complete the list. Now, Vince, he's like, man, let's go see the movies. Let's sneak into the movies. That's number 14 on the list, y'all. Let's do it. But Mallory being Mallory, she said, nah, we got to go in order of the list. Number 13 is stealing some stuff. And if you guys don't know, 13 comes before 14. Vince is like, yeah, but still, I still want to go see the movie, you know, it's just Friday, you know what I'm saying, it's Jason, I want to go see it all. Jeanette points out that everything Mallory puts on this list is illegal. Yes, it is. But Mallory's trying to explain there's a thing that these corporations call slippage. And what slippage is, we have a product, but we have also in our budget that if we damage or we lose, let's just say 10% of it, it's all right because we have the insurance on it. So if you lose something or it gets damaged, you can send it back and they'll give you the money for the product. So slippage is built in case people start losing product. Now, that doesn't mean you're able to go steal from them because it's legal. Don't do it, people. It ain't worth it. With the lawsuit going on, Kate's family and their lawyer, they're doing as much work as they can to build up anything they have against Jeanette. Now, what they're doing is a deposition of one of Kate's friends, Tennille, the white girl. Her mom, Miss Peterson, she's going to go in there and she has some quote unquote damaging information about Jeanette. But Jeanette's like, well, I have some information on her too. And the lawyer's saying, well, it doesn't matter because she's not on trial. So it looks like they may have ran into each other and had an encounter with each other, but she's about to use this information to try to get some fame, because you know how it is in a small town. You can get on the news, shoot, you're a celebrity. Let's go to the store, limit 5 items. They go into the dressing room and you see Mallory with the little security remover. You put it on there, you pop it, it takes it off. So when you walk through the metal detector, I mean, not the metal detector, but the sensor at the front door, it doesn't go off. The newer ones, they got ink in it. But Jeanette, she's keeping a lookout. She's like, oh shoot, Mr. Harris, the principal's in here. She's like, well, he's the principal of the school, the assistant principal of the school, not of the store. While Jeanette's keeping a lookout, Mr. Harris is on the outside with who? Tanya. Now he's out here getting fitted for his suit. And you know, she's like, okay, 42R, okay, you got 33, okay. So she's out here and you can tell that she's flirting with him. Now Martin, he doesn't feel comfortable with this. She's like, oh, this is gonna get you a long way with the single mothers at the PTA meetings and all this. And Martin's just like, hey man, I don't think I should be talking to students' mothers, you know, outside of school stuff. And she's like, oh, let's just have a meal, Martin. I'll pick you up at your place. He's like, okay. While she's distracted, Mallory and Jeanette, they tie up some stuff around their waist. We got some free clothes and they hightail it out of here. And Tanya's like, hey, can I help you? They don't even speak. They just get up out of there. Tanya and Tennille. Now, Tennille's in a room hanging out with her homegirl and they just chilling. Room look junky as hell, but that's neither here or there. Her mama comes in like, hey, Jeanette's on the phone. Tennille's like, man, tell her to stop calling here. She ain't get the picture. And her mom's like, you obviously haven't because you ain't cleaned up this room after I told you. Now, Tanya, like I said, she's looking for attention and looking to be a quote unquote celebrity in the town. Now, she's telling the girls, hey, people are coming over here to watch my interview because I'm talking about Martin Harris. Now, we've seen how she was acting towards Martin in the store. So anything she says, you would assume that it's going to be good. But she's like, hey, you need to talk to Jeanette and get her to stop calling. Tennille's like, tell her she's in Loserville by herself. Ugh. Now, the whole crew's doing their stealing stuff, and it's sad because Mallory has on a United States of America shirt on. Oh, my goodness. Let me salute them first, you know. But Vince comes out with a CD, and the alarm goes off. So everyone takes off. And Jeanette, what she does is she takes the CD and tells Vince, hey, get out of here. Get out of here. So she actually takes the blame for Vince. They take Jeanette on back to the little security station. And guess who's in there? Jamie. So this is how they get their original introduction together. Now he asks her what she's doing. She's like, oh, shoplifting. How about you? He's like, oh, something happened in the fountain. Hopefully they show us that. So you can tell she's like, uh-oh, kind of nervous. So she's fixing her hair and stuff. For Jamie, this is just another day to him. He just in here like, yeah, man, I did something in the fountain, this, whatever. For her, she's kind of nervous. More nervous to be around Jamie than to actually be in the trouble. Back at home, Sydney's sitting there, and this is 94. And she's just cutting up some of the food and crackers that was in this little package that Angela sent over. Because she's kind of thinking, why would she send all of this? Is something going on? I don't know. I'm confused. But the phone rings, and it's pretty much a prank call. Hey, is Jeanette there? No, she isn't here. Oh, I was hoping it was, so we could talk to the little creep, the little weirdo. And she just hangs up the phone. So people are calling and calling the phone. At this point, you got to just get that number changed. Sydney wants to figure out what the hell is going on. Why are people saying this about my daughter? So she heads upstairs. She goes in the room. She starts searching. Now, I know she probably seen, hey, man, this clothes is stolen. But she's looking for any information that she can find to figure out what the hell is going on with her in this case. Looked all through the closets. Didn't find anything. Going through the dressers. Didn't find anything. But the next stop is Jeanette's jewelry box. And we know that there was some marijuana in there at one point. We know the necklace was in there at one point. But what is she about to find? She looks through it. She sees nothing, lifts it up, and a sigh of relief. Nothing's in here. But she flips it over, and under the bottom, it was a piece of paper taped. And what does she find? The key. Is it to Martin's house? I don't know, but we have a key now, people. Jamie and Jeanette, they're sitting in a security place and they're starting to talk. Because at this point, hey, icebreaker, it's just you and I here. You're more comfortable, you know? So he's like, dang, you got called? She said, normally I don't. He's like, oh, really? What do you normally do? She's getting ready to tell him, sometimes I sneak into this man's house, the assistant principal. But right when she gets ready to say this, because you know that's what she wanted to say, because most criminals have to boast about what crimes they do. They want to brag about it. Her dad pops in. Hey, I hope this is a mistake, Jeanette. I hope they, I know you didn't just do this. Sydney has this key and she wants answers. Now, Jeanette's walking around the house with her Walkman on, the headset, just vibing out, you know what I'm saying? Just getting it. Sydney, like, take them headphones off and come talk to me now. They sit on the couch. And Sydney's like, hey, I'm your mom. We're close. We could talk about anything. Is there anything you need to tell me about this? And the whole time, Jeanette's just denying it. No, I don't have anything to do with this. The people prank calling you, they're getting to your head. And Sydney's like, listen, please tell me whatever you have going on with this so we can help you, because I don't know what's going on. You can just look at Jeanette's face, and when people's mouths start going, looking like that, they about to cry and they about to lie. Just gonna be honest with you. When you caught up, you're getting ready to cry because you know the truth is already out there, but you just don't know how much they know. So like I said, Jeanette's telling her mom, oh, you're just letting these calls get to you. And she storms off. Normally when someone leaves a conversation abruptly like that, they lying. Jeanette's dad is angry. He got on his suit. He got the red, white, and blue tie on. Once again, we gotta salute a good American. He's like, why did you do this? And she's like, well, Vince took a CD and I heard the alarm go off, so I took it from him and I made him get out of there. And he's like, why would you do that? And what Jeanette says is, her and Vince, they always look out for each other no matter what. Now, you remember Vince, he told the lawyers that he always trusted Jeanette and he doesn't believe that she'd be lying about this. And that's because Jeanette took the CD and took the charge for her. One, because Vince is her friend and they look out for each other. And two, she knew her dad wasn't going to be that hard on her. She's daddy's little girl at this point. You know, it's like, hey, my daughter could do no wrong. She made a mistake. She covered for a friend. So she wasn't going to get in too much trouble. Sydney at this point, she's digging and digging because she knows this is your daughter. Just like any of y'all, you know, if your brother, sister, or even your kids, if they're lying, you like, wait a minute, they ain't telling me the truth about something. So she tells George, like, hey, look, we need to try this key out and go see if it's to Martin's house. Because I think Sydney knows, she knows in her heart that her daughter is lying. So she's like, hey, we got to go try this key out. But on the other hand, George is like, you want us to go over there in broad daylight with this key? People gonna look at us like, what are they doing over there? Now, yeah, George did sell the house, but y'all have a key? Why do you still have a key to this house after you sold it? And he's saying, we can't go over there. It's gonna make us look bad, and it's gonna also make our daughter look bad. Now, for him, Jeanette's his little girl. We've seen how he protects her, but the mom is like, we gotta get to the bottom of this. 95, Dark Jeanette's sitting in her room, and guess who shows up? It's Vince. Now, these two have an interesting relationship. They have always been close to each other, and they always wanted to be friends forever. We do know that Vince used to have a crush on him when they were younger, but that went away, separate, you know, things happen. But for them, both of them, it's like, it's good to see you, you know? You know when you haven't seen somebody in so long. So he comes in the room. She's just saying, it's weird that you're over here because we used to hang out here all the time. It's been a long thing. But she's like, hey, can you distract the news and the media while I sneak out the back? And he's like, yeah, I could do that for you. At this point, Sydney has no one to talk to in the house. So she goes over and she talks to Derek about it. And she's like, hey, you remember when you were younger, you had a little tea party with Jeanette? And he's like, Mom, I was so young back then. But what she's trying to do is relate to him on a different level because Jeanette isn't telling the truth. George isn't doing anything. He's protecting his daughter. So he's talking to her. And he's like, man, this is just a long time ago. Me and Jeanette, we real close. So she's trying to see if he could talk to her and get any information out of her. And he's like, man, there's really nothing there. And I got to get ready to go to college. So at the end of the day, she's like, well, you know, I'm just proud. My son is a college kid now and he's going off because she feels I'm not going to be able to get anything out of him either. So I'm going to have to just, I'm going to have to do this on my own. Jeanette goes back to the clothing store and who is there? Tanya. Now she's talking to Tanya. She's like, hey, I hear you going to a deposition about me. You know, they do a lot of digging in those. So be careful with what you say in there. And Tanya's like, little girl, you know what you're doing right now is blackmail. So whatever you have on me, you really can't do it. But Jeanette's like, okay, go ahead and try it. Now, we don't know exactly what Jeanette is talking about at this point, but I'm sure we're going to find out. After the robbery, I won't even say the robbery. After she took the charge for the little missing CD at the store, her and Vince are back at the house, and she's saying, how come every time Mallory wants us to do something, she bails on us and it ends up falling back on us? And Vince is like, well, we were all supposed to run. You just took the, you just took the CD. And Jeanette says, I don't want to talk bad about her behind her back, but she's doing all of this and it's falling on us. And Vince is like, yeah, you're right. I don't want to talk about her behind her back. We see the interaction between Sam and Vince at the movie store. And Vince, we know he knows about movies. He works at the movie store, and we seen in 93, he was like, man, I want to go see these movies. Now, Sam is in here. At this point, we don't know if they're close enough yet to be, to come out. But Sam is looking at the movie, and he's like, man, you should come over here and watch it and, break the shows down, because I know that's how you do. Vince is like, okay, I like that. After this, Sam leaves. He hightails it up out of there. And Jeanette and Vince, they actually talk. And she's like, we can act like none of that ever happened. I didn't see anything, but you do seem happy. And for the first time, we see Vince smiling in 94. So he's like, yeah, I guess I kind of was happy. Jeanette, being Jeanette, took that key. This is 93. And she goes over to Martin's house and she breaks in again. Oh my goodness. Come on, Jeanette. But you remember? Tanya and Martin, they had a date at Martin's house. So Jeanette's in here. She has to lock herself in the living room closet. Her heart's beating. Like, oh, I'm about to get caught. And like I said, Jeanette and Vince's friendship, they always been the closest. And he always tells her, look, no matter what goes on in life, you're going to always have my back. And they give each other a little pinky, you know what I'm saying? Pinky promise, man. Pinky promise, I'll always be there for you. Tennille and the friend, they come into the store. And guess what's on TV? Tanya's interview. And it's talking about Martin Harris. So now we get to piece everything together like I always wanted. While they're at the house, Tanya, single mom, Martin Harris got a nice job, a big house. And them single moms, they looking for somebody to help take care of them, you know what I'm saying? So she's in here, she got wine. Martin's all uncomfortable. She's touching on his leg, on his hair. And Jeanette's in the closet watching the whole thing. Someone's being overly aggressive in here. Now during her interview, she's talking about, oh, Martin, he was extremely aggressive. When I was at the house, he was putting his hands on me. He was said anything to get me in that house. So she's lying because we seen that you were the aggressive one. And unfortunately, this is how it happens in real life. Women can say certain things, men can say something, but most of the time, especially in this case, the man is dead. So we don't know the truth, but Jeanette does. While she's telling the story during her interview, Jeanette's looking. She's like, whoa. She's lying. And now Tennille's like, hey, how do you know? You weren't there. How you know my mom is lying? Why would you say something like that, you weirdo? Later on that night, Vince is at the house sitting on the couch, just chilling like old times. Jeanette comes in the living room with some popcorn. Angela's like, hey, you and Vince, y'all should date. Because they always were close and they always had a good relationship with each other. But they laugh it off. And Vince is like, nah, she's more like my sister. That's only because he was put in the friend zone at an early date. She wanted to be with bad guy Jamie, while good boy Vince wanted her. He got friend zone. So now at this point, he's like, nah, we just, saying we cool. While Jeanette was in the closet, the stereo behind her started going off. And Martin was getting ready to go over to the door and open it up and find her. But Tanya, she stands up like, oh, I sat on the remote. But at this point, she spilled wine all over her. So she starts to take her blouse off. Because you know what she's trying to do. She's trying to seduce Martin. When he comes back in there, she probably have no top on. Like, oh, yeah, I'm exposed. But she goes over to the closet. And when she opens it up, Jeanette is in there. And they see each other. So now Tanya's like, what are you doing here? Get out of here. You didn't see nothing. And Jeanette's like, uh-oh, I heard you tell Martin that you're getting child support for Tennille, and that isn't the dad. So she's like, get out of here. We didn't see each other. So that's where the blackmail came from at the store. Jeanette knows about her line about child support, and Tanya knows about her breaking into the house. So both of them are, shh. Won't he do it? So Tanya goes ahead and goes to her deposition. When she gets in there, she says, well, Jeanette says she never seen Kate. And I have no reason not to believe her. And the reason she's changing her story, because the lawyer says, well, didn't you just say in your interview that you believe she may have done something, she may have seen her? She's like, oh, nah. After thinking back and remembering, I don't know that. Because stealing child support for all these years, oh yeah, you going to jail and you're going to have to pay back all of that. So she's like, nah, Jeanette, as far as I know, she's a good girl. So hey, it worked out. And exactly what I explained, Jeanette went to her and said, I'd be careful what I tell the lawyers because there's provable facts and then there's your story. I can prove with a paternity test that Tennille's dad is not her dad and you've been scamming. You've been scamming for child support. So that's the reason why Tanya changed her deposition answer. Sydney pulls up to the bar. Guess whose bar it is? Angela's bar. She gets there, she sits down, she's like, oh yeah, let me get a drink, it's my anniversary. She's like, oh, thank you. And Sydney lays it on her. Yeah, well, it was my anniversary, but you took my husband from me. These ladies are about to clash. So Angela's like, okay, so you came here? Long story short, I didn't take your husband. There was other things going on. And we're good. He showed me a house and now we're good. But Sydney says, I'm not here to fight with you. I just want to know, how's my daughter doing? I haven't talked to any of them. You know, I've been out of the house. We aren't connected because she brought up the information about, hey, where's this key? You know what I'm saying? She knows that her daughter has a key to Martin's house. So she just wants to know, how is her daughter? How is she living? Because that's still her daughter and she still has a relationship with her. It turns out Sydney's regretting having kids. Now, she wanted to be a flight attendant so she could fly around the world for free, see different places. But that didn't happen. They ended up having kids. She had to raise the kids. And now she's telling her husband, look, I wanted to travel the world and see everything. Now, I wasn't vocal about that, but I'm being vocal about Jeanette. And I believe that she has something going on. And George is like, what? So this is where they started falling off, because now it shows that she has resentment to the relationship because she wanted to travel, but she didn't bring it up. But she will say, I don't want to mess up with Jeanette. I know something's going on. Sydney takes the key over to Martin's house. She puts it in. She's like, oh, Lord. It unlocks. She's like, damn, Jeanette. And then she goes and pushes the door open. But once the door opens, it goes to 95 and we see George come in here. And he's like, he starts knocking stuff over like, damn, my daughter did do something. And now he's hurt because it's like, I should listen to my wife and I trusted my daughter too much. Oh, Jeanette, you messing up the whole family. There you go, episode 6 of Cruel Summer. Oh man, we have all became honorary investigators. So I'm gonna get all you guys a badge. I ain't gonna wear one, but we are all piecing this thing together and we're figuring stuff out. And we're like, oh, damn, Jeanette, the world is crumbling. But I still don't think Jeanette did anything too bad. So I'm on Team Jeanette. Let me know who y'all are. Let me know what you think about the episode. I'm Mo.J. Thanks for watching. If you like the content on the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and I'm out.
Jimmy on the beat, boy.